in our attitude towards her. We must move forward. We must embrace her. We must love her. We must forget the past, forget the badness, and move forward with our love for her.
You're all wiped out, she says. Exhausted. Physically, spiritually, and emotionally.
Please, come on, enjoy the pool, please.
Please, come on, it's the least I can do. And so we all say,
Yes!
Oh, let's leave behind the death. Let's leave the hatred behind. Pool. And we go. And it takes so many hours to fly to the strange new world. There are palm trees and heat haze the dust of the airport. And she's there. Welcome. Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome. And in the huge hallway of her house, there's the pool boy, and the personal trainer, and the cook. Hello. Hey.
Hi.
Welcome. Good to, yeah.
How are you?
Come on, fantastic. So you're...
I've heard so much.
That's good. And yes, we feel a little guilty when we think of all the suffering back in the city, the beatings and the orphans and the pain. And for a moment we want to rush back there and make some art. But we take a moment. Take a moment to reflect. Because really, are we responsible for every baby whose mother is a junkie? That would just be vanity. And we look at her and we say, yes, really, you're just a person like us. And why do we feel all those terrible things all these years? Oh, it feels good to let them go. And we notice how beautiful her laugh sounds, and how graceful her movements are. And we actually rather adore the way that she's not so present, so pushing herself to be as other people are.
And each of us hold her and say, it's great to be here. It's good to see you. And we actually mean it. Oh, we are lighter than we've been for years.
You know, she is a marvellous person. One of us. Out in the world, doing well. And that night there's a magnificent meal. Swordfish and watercress and cool, cool wine. Cheers! And we get reminiscent. And we get cosy. About the...
God, do you remember when everything was just so full of meaning? Everything just had so much meaning.
Yes, it was all drenched in so much meaning, and we all cared. We all cared so passionately. Do you remember? Do you remember?
Do you remember?
Do you remember? Do you remember the days? Oh yes, happy days. I remember. Very bright colours. In the crib, in the school, in the very first studio that we shared. I remember everything having so much colour that I felt, God, how can I ever find a medium that has so much colour?
Time for bed.
And each of us is in a bed. And suddenly she's there. Suddenly her head is around the door. I know we said sleep, but I thought skinny dipping. Come on, skinny dipping in the pool before bed.
God, she hasn't lost it. Despite it all, despite all this grandeur, she's still naughty, naughty, naughty!
Magic words from long ago. Skinny dipping. And we're out into the night and we're laughing and we're drunk and there's no lights on because everything's been turned off. And we say to each other, clothes off. Because isn't that the most alive, most wonderful? Clothes off. And we take off our clothes.
And each of us knows that our body is not what it was those 10 years ago. That there's fat and sag and lines, and even the linen tints grey. Oh yes, the sad, sad, sad road to the grave has already begun.
But that doesn't matter in the darkness. In the darkness we are as we were 10 years ago. And the performance spaces and the strip poker and all that naked fun.
And it's just so beautiful. The slightest breeze round your cracks, hanging a little in the wind.
Some of us laugh and some of us cry. But but we're all moved by the sheer, naked beauty of it. I'll always remember that moment. Always. All of us standing there naked in the dark. Sometimes when the painkillers aren't working, I try to visualise that moment, and then things don't seem so awful.
Come on, she squeals! Come on, the pool!
She's running and walking in the darkness, and she launched herself up against the sky, the arc of her body in the night sky. Up and up and up. She seems so high, she's flying, she's an angel, a drunk, laughing goddess angel. And then she arcs down, and we're clapping and we're cheering.
Some of us thought we heard the splash. You do. When you think there's going to be a splash, then you hear a splash. You do the work. But we didn't hear a splash. There was
The crack,
no splash.
the cracking of her body, the harsh crack of her body against the concrete.
Then there was silence.
Then there was her groan, and her squeal, and her screams of pain. Edge forward in the darkness. Our naked figures moving forward in the dark until we're right at the edge of the pool. And then we can see.